Y'all, Creed 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and now Green Book? This may have been the best week of movie releases of the year. What is up, flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Thanksgiving is a wonderful time, and there are so many great movies in theaters right now, but the one that isn't in as many theaters, and I know I've not watched Robin Hood yet, still trying to figure out time when I can do that, and I don't even know if I want to because of the reviews. They're so negative, but Green Book is a movie not in very many theaters. Maybe the mass audience isn't going to see this as much as I think they should, but I'm here to talk about it today. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score. So a working-class Italian-American bouncer becomes the driver of an African-American classical pianist on a tour of venues through the 1960s American South. A great premise for a film, a premise that is based on a true story. So this movie follows a through line, and it definitely sticks to it. The main thing about this movie for me that intrigued me and engaged me once I actually saw the film is the relationship between our main two characters, played by Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, two of the best in the business. And I'm talking strictly about their acting. I know Viggo got into some trouble, but let's talk about the film. Guys, they are so good in this movie. My goodness. The performances are top-notch. Mahershala Ali has been one of my favorite actors for the last 2 years, and I know it's so funny, but Luke Cage is what really got me engaged with him as an actor. He was awesome in that show, and of course Moonlight, my goodness. But this movie really is able to give him a different dynamic. He's playing a different character, and he is so good. Viggo Mortensen, he nailed the accent in my opinion, and he provided a lot of humor with a straight-laced Mahershala Ali, and they come together, and their relationship, their chemistry, their dialogue, their interplay, the exchange, everything that happens between them on screen had me the entire time, and they carry this film on their back. But wait, Peter Farrelly, I guess, he directed this movie. If you guys don't know what he has done before, he and his brother have directed movies like Dumb and Dumber and Shallow Hal. So I liked some of their work more recently. I haven't liked their work as much, but one of the brothers is able to take on a movie that is very different, but he directed this so well. I loved the cinematography, the technical elements of the film were super well done. Now, we do start off getting kind of thrown into this movie and thrown into these characters, but the first 15-20 minutes, while some people say it is slow, and I was sitting there like, okay, is this slow? Or are we just spending time with these characters to get attached to him? Mostly Viggo Mortensen's character, but those first 20 minutes really get us deep into his world, how he feels, how his wife, played by Linda Cardellini, feels. She's fantastic in this movie. Just great performances all around and great directing. And after thinking about it and sitting back like, did it start slow? No, I think it started how it needed to start, because I love when a film can take time and flesh out its characters and then put us on the adventure. And the adventure, to me, was the best part of this movie. I understand, I'm seeing a bit of negativity online. Now, the people that love this movie are loving it. They're saying Best Picture nominee, it's front runner for Best Picture, blah, blah, blah. But the people that are being really hostile against it, I understand, I get it. It is a bit surface level, and it has these different themes in here that it never really dives deep into and tackles. You have racism, you have sexism, you have all of these different things that I think the film could have explored more. But we've had a lot of movies exploring darker themes this year and not having you walk out with a smile on your face. A movie like Boy Erased and Beautiful Boy and Black Klansman, all three of those films explored some very dark themes. And yes, there's humor in all three of them, but really, you walk out like, oh my gosh, you're really emotional and you feel bad and all of the things that happen to these people. First of all, it's ridiculous and it's disgusting, but those movies portrayed that in a beautiful way. I don't think that's what Green Book is trying to do. I think it's just trying to focus on the relationship between these two guys. Yes, it's the, oh yeah, he's a racist, he starts out racist, and then he turns not racist. Yes, it's a bit of a conventional story. It's a story we've seen before, but this is based on a true story. And I don't know how many liberties they took, but I assume they didn't take very many. And to focus on something this realistic and keep it realistic, keep it true, maybe the reason that they didn't go down these paths is because that's not what actually happened, and Peter Farrelly had in mind mind, I'm just going to focus on this relationship. We're going to hit on these themes. We're not going to dive deep into them, and we're going to be subtle. And I feel like he handled this movie in a very subtle way, and a lot of people are going to get upset with that, and I completely understand, but for me, it worked because Green Book is just trying to be this feel-good film that you walk out and you have a smile on your face because you loved these characters' relationship. And that's exactly what it was. I feel like it accomplished its goal. If you don't like the goal and you don't like the reason that they're trying to accomplish that, I understand. So if you don't like this movie, I get it. But for me, Green Book is that feel-good movie of the year, the one that I think I've been waiting on the entire year, that still hits on these important topics, these important themes, just enough to get people thinking and get people talking. Because yes, these things are important. Racism and sexism, all of these things, they deserve to be explored on screen. But like I said, we've had a bunch of movies this year to explore those things. I think Green Book has every right in the world to just deliver a heartwarming Christmas movie, which this movie is. It is a Christmas movie, especially with how it ends, that allows you to walk out with a smile on its face, and that's exactly what it did. The humor was smart, it was sweet, clever, real. The humor really worked for me. The audience was so engaged. We were laughing all the way through. There are so many moments and situations, but also the way that Dr. Shirley handles himself in this movie. He has the turn the other cheek mentality. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to backfire. He gets on to Viggo's character at times saying, hey, what are you doing? I have been dealing with this way longer than you have. He really starts to turn people's opinions that have bad opinions against him. And I was so happy seeing this character on screen handling things with restraint and allowing people to see how calm he was and why he acted this way. He handled it the correct way, and people really started to come around and say, you know what? He knows what he's doing. I'm sure he changed a lot of opinions. And Mahershala Ali playing that piano, I don't know if it was actually him. I've not done my research, but my goodness, what an interesting story in itself. We could have had a movie about that. And my issues, I basically have already hit on it. They were very surface level about certain things. And yes, even though I really love the movie that we got, they could have dove in a bit deeper, and they could have given us those themes that a lot of people are asking for. I get it. I understand. It was a conventional story, and I think a lot of people are going to expect the ending and expect certain things to happen throughout the movie. So in that vein, I could say it's also predictable, but I said the same thing about Creed 2. It's not the destination, it's the journey to the destination, and I loved the journey of this movie. And also, the movie does slow down at parts. You have to stick with it, even when you think it's going in a direction that you're not going to be happy with. Most of the time, I ended up being happy every twist and turn that it took, and that is why I am going to give Green Book a 90%. I think this movie is really great for what it was going for. While some people will say it's surface level, I will say it did exactly what it intended to do. It did exactly what it needed to do, and this is just a feel-good movie, guys. I love a nice, you can sit down, relax, explore two characters, really dig the chemistry, and just get solid performances, and that's exactly what Green Book gave me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have you seen my Ralph Breaks the Internet review? That came out earlier today. And then, of course, Creed 2. Tomorrow we have The Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell on Netflix, so that's going to be a thing. I'm still debating Robin Hood. I don't know if it's going to happen because tomorrow is, of course, Thanksgiving, but I have a YouTube channel to run. You guys are the absolute best, and I'll catch you later.